Hello, collective. This is your daily check-in on Energy Healing Oracle 555. And we have a lot to talk about today. I, along with most Canadians, I'm sure, are following very carefully the news stories that are slowly coming out of Tumbler Ridge. And part of me thinks, who am I to insert myself on this type of world stage event? And then I realized that's just silly because I've been through this. And today I'm thinking about the parents and the siblings and the friends of those kids and people injured in the mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge in BC, Canada. And there's so much death and so much violence and suffering going on the world over, here in Canada now, and in the States, in Iran, Gaza, in the Middle East, in the Ukraine. We're enduring a lot in this old world. So I thought today it was completely appropriate to do a reading, perhaps an extended reading, using a deck that I have called Grief, Grace, and Healing. Because at times like this, you can only do what you can do. Because I remember what it's like to wake up the day after my dad died. I was 19 and I just stayed hovering over a family album for hours on the basement floor. And I remember what it was like to wake up the morning after my wife passed away. And it's that mix of shock and disbelief and just sorrow that eats you up from the inside. It makes you want to put the blankets over your head and go back to sleep. I get it. And so, in times of grief, there are things like this that I turn to. Obviously, this is why I got this deck, as I tend to be, after my experiences, somebody who talks about grief. I write about it. I am constantly making friends with people who have been through a similar experience. So for anyone going through that, I would highly suggest find those people that have been through this, because it will be easier to talk to them. It will be easier for them to hold space for you. And I like the colors of this deck. Pink, or specifically rose quartz, is the crystal that people use to support bereavement. So if rose quartz or rosemary oil or something pink, if that gives you comfort to wear, do it, you know? Having a rose quartz in your pocket, you know, what does it hurt? It can only help you. It's something to hold on to when stuff like this happens. And it's the little things that are going to bring you back to the land of the living here. So this deck has, obviously, as you can see, 3 different themes. One on grace, one on grief, and one on healing. And I am going to draw some cards from grace, because that's what I am praying for everyone who's affected by the horrific things happening in Tumbler Ridge and the world in general. And if the divine, if the angels would mind giving us some messages of comfort, that would be very appreciated. Are these cards bigger than normal? Perhaps they are. Oh, they spread better. Oh, that belongs over there. I'm a little disconcerted today, as you might. Okay, that won't pop. Now I'm going to shuffle one for grief, as in the grief that. Yeah, these cards are bigger. Maybe what I'll do is I'll cut the deck and take the one on the top. Oops. Okay, that's good enough for me. And then I'll do one for healing. And call the energy of rose quartz. Whoops. There we go. To all those who are dealing with a loss right now. And I'll see what we have. Grace. And you've got take the high road. Maintain strong boundaries while being gracious. A difficult person or situation in your life requires your dispassionate detachment. Taking the high road might be the kindest option for yourself. Avoid unnecessary drama. Don't tolerate disrespectful or mean-spirited behavior, yet show others grace you'd expect. Connect with your higher values, speaking and acting from that higher wisdom. That's a tough one. I mean, when you are grieving, you need to have strong boundaries because you don't have time to muck around. You're traumatized. So taking the high road, that does kind of make sense, you know. Treat people the way you want to be treated. But do not tolerate disrespectful or mean-spirited behavior. So ask for grace to find you, but also ask for someone to help you maintain your boundaries. And this is where free will comes in, where you can talk to your guides, talk to the divine, and say, you know, I'm down right now. I'm waking up in shock. Please, you know, put a protective rose-colored light around me to help me maintain my boundaries, to help me protect myself as I'm grieving. Grief. What do we have here? Trust yourself. After a major loss, it can be more challenging to trust others, trust life, or even trust yourself. Yet, you're a good person with strong inner wisdom. It's natural to be cautious, but trust yourself as well as go to others for wise counsel. Consult your intuition. Mistakes from the past lead to better choices today. Trust is regained gradually. So I think the message is don't rush it. Just be aware. If something feels right or if something does not feel right. Because right now, that's all you have. That's the steering wheel. And this is you going with flow and making the best decisions you can. And we can only do what we can do. Okay, healing. Ah, big sigh. Oh. Enjoy a healing story. Stories serve as templates for healing and inform your healing process. I'm gonna start that again. Stories serve as templates for healing and inform your healing process. Is there a fictional character whose emotional experience mirrors your own? Is there someone in your world or in the public eye whose life story provides insight into yours? Storytelling is a healing art, reminding you of what's best in the human spirit. Okay, that's heavy for me. And honestly, it's confirmation for me to say I have a healing story. That's literally what I've done with my life, is taken my experiences and turned them into a memoir. Just one second. Well, I beg your indulgence. If this is not up your alley, that is absolutely fine, as it's true. Not everyone is going to understand what you do in order to grieve the death of a loved one. But this is what I did. I wrote. I'm a writer. And I had trouble getting it published, so I ran a crowdfund campaign and published it myself. The High-Flying Adventures of Captain Grief, a memoir about laughing in the face of death. And that's what I needed to do to stay strong and to hold on to my sanity and use my gift for something. And there couldn't have been a more important time for me as a 34-year-old widow with a 1.5-year-old child. So do what brings comfort to you. Do what makes sense to you. And you don't have to explain it to anybody, because your grief process is yours, not anyone else's. And yes, there is a collective grief, and we can take comfort in the people around us that understand us, but ultimately, we are the ones who are in charge of our journey of loss. And it's not just the big things of waking up the next day and getting through the funeral, and it's about the days and the weeks and the months and the years that come after that, because it's just normal that grief changes your life forever. It's an experience that fire hardens you, and it comes up in the everyday emotions. It comes up in the little things. So I gave myself a way to write down my emotions through memoir, and to find a way to vent my anger and my frustration and laugh with someone who was ridiculous, who wouldn't judge me. My superhero alter ego, Captain Grief. I mean, she called me a whole lot of names because, I needed somebody to fight with. I was so angry. I was so angry because my wife was so young and she died so suddenly. Nobody was prepared. So I am going to end this reading with some messages from Spirit. That's what I'm going to do. And for those that are interested, I will post an additional video reading one of the pieces from my memoir about the small moments in grief that are the reality of the everyday when it comes to living with the loss of a loved one. Because this is the wealth and breadth of my experience, to try and make a safe place for people who are grieving to feel their feelings, to express their emotions to cry, to laugh. To do what they need to do to get through the shit pit of grief. You know, as my mom says, as you're going through shit, you just keep your mouth closed and you keep walking. And one day you realize the level of shit is at your belly button instead of your mouth. And, you know, it's better than it was before, but, you know, shit is still shit. Grief is still grief. Sorry for the brazen visuals, descriptors there, but that's how we dealt with grief in my family. We dealt with it with gallows humor, with sarcasm, with humor and understanding, because what other choice do you have when your dad passes away at 52 and your partner passes away at 35? Yeah, it's true. So I'm gonna get 3 of these and just let this go where it needs to go. Oh, goodness. Well, the universe wants to be very supportive today. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's too many cards. So I just want one more. Okay. Card number 1. Instead of pushing yourself so hard, stop. Breathe. And reevaluate. You are doing enough, even if it doesn't feel like it. Don't wear yourself out to the point of exhaustion. It's not worth it. Balance your time more wisely. Okay, that's a self-care card. That's a give yourself the space you need to have. Thank you, Divine. Be clear about where you are putting your focus right now. Focus on your desired outcome. You have everything to create the life of your dreams. Stop doubting yourself for once. This is your time. We've got you. Okay, this is getting quite personal. If you think you are alone, you are not. We are beside you in all challenges that you face. Trust that outside sources will always be working with you to ensure the best outcome of every situation. We have your best interests at heart. We love you. We love you. So I think that is just to say, if there was ever a time for asking for heavenly assistance, do it. If all you can do is ask your guides or the universe or whatever you need to ask for help, because we have free will. And when you need help, the divine and the guides you have, and everyone has guides, can work with you and can help you and can tell you, can suggest, maybe this would be better than this. You're right to do this. Keep going. They are your healers and your helpers. So, my prayers are with the departed and with the friends and families on Tumbler Ridge today, as well as with the people throughout the world who are dealing with uncertainty and fear and bereavement. So, focus on the things that are going to help. Focus on the things that will bring comfort. And that's how you will make it from day to day. That's the only way to make it from day to day, is to look around at what you still have. Whether it's beautiful memories or the people that surround you. And I know I hugged my now 14-year-old son really tightly before he left today. And I am so grateful that he's okay. So I give gratitude for that. So take care of yourself, take care of others, and if you need something to listen to, I will put up a second video. All right, take care, and I'll see you again tomorrow.